You are currently being hunted, not by a person, but by a mathematical model. It is a model that knows the exact frequency of your heartbeat when you see a specific shade of blue, the precise millisecond you linger on a photo of a stranger's vacation, and the exact level of cortisol in your blood when you feel like you are falling behind. You think you are browsing a feed, but the feed is actually browsing you. It is scanning for the cracks in your armor, the small, quiet insecurities you haven't even admitted to yourself yet, and it is preparing to sell you a temporary fix. This is the new frontier of the global economy. We no longer trade in goods and services. We trade in biological vulnerabilities. Billion-dollar brands have stopped trying to convince your logical mind and have started hacking your ancient biology. They are not selling you a product. They are selling you a way to escape the discomfort they intentionally triggered in you 10 seconds ago. If you've ever looked at your bank account and wondered where the money went, or looked at your life and wondered why it doesn't feel like enough, you need to understand that this isn't a personal failure. It is a calculated outcome. Before we go any deeper into the mechanics of this biological heist, I want to ask you to do something. If you've ever felt that sudden, unexplainable weight in your chest while scrolling, that feeling that everyone else has found the secret to life except you, type, "I felt it," in the comments right now. By doing that, you are breaking the invisible wall of isolation these brands rely on. You are signaling that you see the game. While you're there, hit the like button and subscribe. Not because I'm asking for a favor, but because every time you engage with content that deconstructs these traps, you are recalibrating your own algorithm. You are telling the machine that you want the truth, not the bait. Let's build a community that is harder to manipulate. Now, let's look at how they actually get inside your head. To understand how a billion-dollar brand hacks your biology, you have to understand that your brain is an antique. You are walking around in 2026 with hardware that was designed for the Pleistocene era. For 99% of human history, survival depended on two things: fitting in with the tribe and identifying scarcity. If you were excluded from the group, you died. If you missed out on a rare resource, you died. These aren't just feelings. They are deep-seated survival commands hardwired into your nervous system. Brands have figured out that they don't need to make a better product. They just need to trigger those two survival commands. The first hack is the weaponization of social comparison. In a natural human environment, you would compare yourself to the 20 or 30 people in your immediate circle. If you were doing roughly as well as them, your brain released dopamine and serotonin. You felt safe. You felt like enough. But brands have taken that internal scale and shattered it. By using influencers and hyper-curated digital environments, they have expanded your tribe to include the top 0.1% of the wealthiest, most attractive, and most physically fit humans on the planet. Your ancient brain doesn't know these are pixels on a screen. It thinks these are your neighbors. And when you compare your real, messy, unedited life to their highlight reel, your brain sends out an emergency flare. It tells you that you are at the bottom of the hierarchy. It tells you that you are in danger. This is why you feel poor, even if you have a roof over your head and food in the fridge. The brands create the wound of inadequacy, and then they present the purchase as the bandage. But the hack goes deeper than just making you feel bad. They have moved into the realm of identity engineering. In the old world of marketing, a car company would tell you their engine was reliable. Today, that is considered amateur. Now they sell you the version of yourself that drives the car. They are selling you the man who has arrived or the woman who is unstoppable. They know that humans will spend 10 times more money to defend an identity than they will to fulfill a need. When you buy a specific brand of tech or a specific luxury watch, you aren't paying for circuits or gears. You are paying a status tax to signal to the world and to yourself that you belong to a higher tier of humanity. This is a biological trap because identity is a moving target. As soon as you buy the item that was supposed to make you feel arrived, the brand updates the signal. They release a new version, a new essential look, and suddenly, the thing you just bought becomes a signal of the past. You are back in the cycle, running on a treadmill that is powered by your own desire for significance. Think about the phrase financial freedom. To most people, it sounds like a goal. To a brand, it's a keyword they can use to sell you the opposite. They know that the middle-class trap is built on the fear of looking middle class. They exploit your success mindset by convincing you that high-level consumption is a prerequisite for high-level success. They tell you that you have to invest in yourself, but they define that investment as buying things that depreciate the moment you touch them. True wealth is the silence of things you don't have to prove, but the economy is built on the noise of things you do. They want you to stay in the loop of passive income dreams and lifestyle inflation, because a person who is content is a person who is useless to the GDP. We have to talk about the concept of lifestyle creep as a biological phenomenon. Your brain has a feature called hedonic adaptation. It is the reason why the first bite of a chocolate bar is incredible, but the 10th bite is just okay. We are designed to get used to things. Brands use this against you by slowly raising the luxury baseline. What was a luxury 10 years ago, like high-speed data everywhere or a car that parks itself, is now considered a basic human right. Once you move your baseline up, it is physically painful to move it back down. This is called loss aversion. Your biology is literally wired to feel the pain of losing something twice as intensely as the joy of gaining it. Brands keep you locked into expensive subscriptions and high-cost lifestyles because they know that once you've tasted that new baseline, you will work yourself into the ground to avoid the shame of going back. If this is starting to make sense, if you're starting to see the invisible threads, hit that like button right now. It helps this message reach the people who are currently drowning in these traps without knowing why. And if you have a friend who is constantly chasing the next big purchase but never seems happy, share this with them. We need to normalize the conversation about how our biology is being harvested for profit. Now, let's talk about the most dangerous hack. The algorithmic mirror. Every time you interact with a screen, you are training an AI to be a better salesman. This AI doesn't have a soul, and it doesn't care about your retirement or your financial mistakes. It only cares about time on device and conversion. It knows your dark triggers. For some of you, it's the fear of aging. For others, it's the need for intellectual validation. For many, it's the passive income dream. The algorithm will feed you content that heightens these specific emotions until you are in a state of high suggestibility. It's like a digital dopamine drip. It keeps you in a loop of wanting without ever reaching having. This is how billion-dollar brands ensure that you spend money you don't have. They don't wait for you to go to the store. They bring the store into your subconscious while you are lying in bed at 11 p.m. The strategy to fight back isn't just willpower. Willpower is a limited biological resource, and the brands know it. They wait until the end of the day when your decision fatigue is at its highest to show you the most tempting offers. You cannot out-willpower a supercomputer. You have to use structural defenses. The first defense is the 72-hour rule, because the brands rely on manufactured urgency. Those little timers that say offer ends in 10 minutes, you must counter with a mandatory delay. When you feel that biological hit of wanting to buy something, your prefrontal cortex has effectively been hijacked by your amygdala. You are in a state of emotional intoxication. If you wait 72 hours, the biological chemicals will dissipate. The need will reveal itself as a tactic. The second defense is auditing your inputs. You are the average of the 5 people you compare yourself to most. If your digital world is filled with people whose entire job is to look perfect and rich, you are voluntarily walking into a torture chamber. You need to curate your environment to include reality signals. Follow people who talk about the boring reality of building wealth, the struggle of saving, and the beauty of an uncurated life. You have to manually override the algorithm's tendency to show you the extremes. The third and most powerful defense is redefining the signal. Brands want you to believe that spending money is a signal of power. You must train your brain to see it as a signal of vulnerability. Every time you see a massive logo or a flashy new gadget, instead of thinking that person is successful, try thinking that person was successfully targeted. When you shift your perspective from being a consumer to being a strategist, the tricks stop working. You start to see the pre-roll ads, the limited edition drops, and the influencer unboxings for what they are. Fishing lures, and you are not a fish. We are told that the road to success is paved with the things we own. We are told that financial freedom is about having the power to buy whatever we want. But true financial freedom is having the power to want nothing that they are selling. It is the ability to look at a billion-dollar marketing campaign and feel absolutely nothing. That is the ultimate success mindset. It's about realizing that the middle-class trap isn't a level of income. It's a state of mind where you are constantly trading your future freedom for present-day props. Think about the money you would have right now if you had never fallen for a biological hack. Think about the retirement account, the passive income streams, the real security you could have built. The brands have stolen more than just your money. They've stolen your time and your peace of mind. But the theft stops today. By understanding these mechanisms, you are moving from being the product to being the player. You are taking control of your own biology. As we wrap this up, I want to leave you with one final thought. The feeling of not being enough is the engine of the world economy. If everyone woke up tomorrow and was perfectly happy with their car, their house, and their clothes, the system would collapse. Your contentment is a threat to the bottom line of every major corporation. This means that being happy with what you have is a radical act of rebellion. It is the only way to truly win the game. If you found value in this breakdown, if it made you look at your phone or your shopping cart differently, then you belong in this community. Subscribe and turn on the notifications, because we are going to keep deconstructing the world until the triggers don't work on you anymore. Leave a comment below with the word rebel if you are committing to the 72-hour rule starting today. Let's see how many of us are ready to stop falling for it. Your wealth, your time, and your biology belong to you. It's time you took them back. Remember, the goal isn't to look rich. The goal is to be wealthy. Looking rich is for the people who are still caught in the trap. Being wealthy is for the people who have seen through the illusions and decided to build something real. Don't let a brand tell you who you are. Don't let an algorithm tell you what you need. You are enough, exactly as you are. And the moment you truly believe that, you become unmarketable. And in a world that wants to sell you everything, being unmarketable is the highest form of freedom. Stay focused, stay aware, and stop falling for the hack. I'll see you in the next one.